Hi guys, Kim here, design team member with Swirly Doos Kit Club. Today I'm bringing you a stamping tutorial. I'm going to show you how to take your own stamps and make your own custom ephemera. What is ephemera? Ephemera is these little bags of doodads that we get, or collectibles is what they call them, or what Kaiser Craft calls them, that come in some of our kits. You can layer these. You can use these for titles. I like layering them, but sometimes I just can't find the right piece that I'm looking for, or nothing speaks to me. Well, if that's the case, then pull out some of your older background stamps. I know we all have them, and it's time to show our stamps some love. What I pulled out today are two background stamps that I have here, and I'm going to show you how to make your own ephemera, and then once you've made it, I'm going to show you how to customize it just for you, and then I'll show you how to use it. So, like I said, I pulled out these two stamps, and what I've done already is I've stamped a couple of images on cardstock, and this is just plain white cardstock. And I'll stamp a couple more because I'm going to show you what the mouse pad is for. The mouse pad I like to use under my stamping because I think it gives me a crisper image when I stamp. So, what I'm going to do, and yeah, my stamps are dirty. I don't clean my stamps. I just stamp off the ink and move on. I'm going to take some waterproof ink. I'm using archival ink in jet black. And the reason you need archival ink, or waterproof ink for that matter, whether it stays on or archival ink or mementos, I also believe is waterproof. You need that to stamp your image, because once we go to customize it, you may want to mist it, and you don't want that ink to bleed with the liquid from the mist. Unlike our distress inks, you know, if you stamp with this and then you mist it or you wet it, this will react and it will bleed. But we are going to use some distress ink once we're done stamping our images, again in waterproof ink. So it's wet. I'm going to take my image and just stamp it down. What I do is I take another wooden stamp and I just roll right across it. That gives me even pressure across the stamp. And then I let it sit for a second, because the stamp and the paper form a little bit of suction, and you need that to release before you lift up your stamp. And it's up, and there's my image. So now what you need to do is cut these out. If it weren't for the tutorial, I would fill up the entire page. You don't want to waste your paper. Fill up your entire page with your images, and then go ahead and cut them out. Okay, all our images are cut out. These are what we stamped. This one I just cut out the image. And this one I fussy cut a little bit just so it would be a different shape. And here are a couple of other ones that I stamped. And how about these? How cool are these? These are from my Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. They're travel labels. And I actually just love the shape of these. So I stamped these. This one's in black, and this one's all ready to go. And I think for me, this one would be all ready to go too. I used a coffee brown on this one. And again, these are with archival ink. Even though I'm not going to miss these, I still like the archival ink with these. So, okay. Now, our stamped images. This one, I don't know if you can see the shimmer. I've already misted it. I used some Color Bloom in Tea Stain. And I've already misted it, and trust me, it is some shimmery goodness. I like this. And it's a light color, so my image really stands out on it. Now, with this one, I want to distress it some. So what I'm going to do is take my distressor and go ahead and distress it. This image is kind of light. I used a stone gray on this one, so it's a lighter image. I'm going to distress that some. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ball it up. That's right. I did. I just balled it up. What I'm trying to do is to make this one a little more vintage. And now that I've unfolded it, I've got all these little creases in it. I'm going to take my distress ink and I'm going to ink it. And what's going to happen is wherever my creases are, they're going to pick up the ink a little bit more. And so there we have it. I used pumice stone to ink that. I don't know if you can see wherever I have a crease, it's a little bit darker. So that's the another thing that you can do with it. So all right, we've already missed it. We've inked. Let's try some double stamping. Double stamping, you say, what is that? Well, that is an image and then another image stamped on top of it. Here's one that I've already done. I've done a couple of things to this. I stamped my image on a bigger sheet of paper, and then I took my seldom used punch. This thing's huge. It is a square scallop, and what I did is I punched out this shape from my stamped image. I inked the edges a little bit, and then what I did was I double stamped. I took another stamp. This is a Prima script stamp. I'm sure we've gotten this in a kit. And I stamped on top in a second color. So let's do some double stamping. Again, here's another image. And this one is stamped in stone gray as well. So I think we're going to take some coffee archival ink and stamp on top of that. We'll see how that comes out. I'm just going to do a light coat of the brown. Make sure my stamp is all inked up. And here we go. It's not going to completely cover this because my image is a little bit bigger than my stamp, but that's okay. All right, there's my double stamping now. You can lightly see the image of the clock behind it, and then on top is the script stamp. So that's some double stamping. Now what you want to do is, to make this, you want to pull out some fun size images. Again, I showed you my labels. How about this one? I've actually used this one on the layout, and I'm getting ready to show you that. Or even this one. That dress form would be really nice to cut out and layer on your page. Now, the reason I'm showing you all this is because there's going to be a color challenge, and you're going to have to use this tutorial for the color challenge at www.swirlydoos.com. Check out our forum and our challenges. And here's the layout that I created for that. And here are my backgrounds that I used. Like I said, I used that text stamp, and I also used another LeBlanc stamp that's part of a brick wall. Figured the brick wall would go really well with the layout of the house. So, and I also stamped these on pattern paper as opposed to just plain white cardstock. Try stamping on some pattern paper that coordinates with the layout that you're doing. It will give your stamp or your ephemera a whole new look. So, thanks for checking out my video, and again, please stop by swirlydoos.com and check out our forums. This is Kim for the design team for Swirly Doos Kit Club.